welcome to the Voice of the Coast. I am your host, Danika. With me, we have Mayor Duval Arthur with the Town of Berwick. And I want to kind of just get a breakdown of everything that's going on. Every now and then I'll bring in our mayors just to kind of get an update. And one of the last events to actually make public was at one of your meetings, and that was about a subdivision that gone up, received its permit. However, you guys were approached by an attorney. So kind of, can you break it down to me? And this particular subdivision that's going to be going up is actually the Atchafalaya River Estates, a new subdivision. First and foremost, where is that location? So we'll kind of know about where that is.
Well, it's on Fairview Drive in Berwick, and it's in a beautiful location. It's right on the Tesh. It's just, the property is very, very nice. It will make a nice subdivision.
About how many lots are we looking at that subdivision?
52, 53, something like that.
It's a pretty large, expansive property, right?
Yes, it is.
And they're all going to be waterfront property?
No, I think only maybe 5 or 6 are waterfront. Now, some of them are going to have water behind their house. They've got a canal behind their house.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, you guys definitely are growing. I mean, you still, I mean, Renwick is pretty much at capacity. And there's actually, in addition to Atchafalaya River Estates, you have another subdivision that's going to be coming up. We don't have to talk about that right now, but, you know, you guys are just, being, I guess at this point, being inundated with developers who want that land. You guys have prime property. However, there was one particular homeowner who found himself pretty much just saying, hey, this new subdivision that's coming up, it's encroaching on my property, therefore here we are with this attorney who is pretty much fighting a battle on for this gentleman. Can you tell me more about what that's about? Like, why were you guys being approached?
Without using any names, because I like to say I don't, there's not been any lawsuit filed that I know of, but anyway, an attorney represented a client. The client owned the property adjacent to the subdivision that was built. He had gone through, the subdivision owners had gone through the process of acquiring the property, putting down the street, improved shoulders, sidewalks, electric line, sewer, electric, everything. So the subdivision was ready to go. So they came to the council and applied for their permit to start selling lots. They met all the standards. It went before the Planning Review Committee, and it was approved and sent to the mayor and the council for us to approve it. And when it came before them, the attorney was there, and that attorney, like I say, was representing an adjacent property owner and he said that the adjacent property owner felt like their property was being encroached upon, and that's the reason why he was there. That's why he was doing what he was doing. Now, the town of Berwick has nothing to do with that. We were there to approve a permit for that subdivision that was being built. It met all the standards, it met all the requirements for subdivision, and it was voted upon and approved by the council. And like I say, that's as far as it went. They've got their permit now, they can sell lots. As far as we're concerned, it's over with.
And this was actually sometime last month, March 24th is when you guys awarded the permit. And from what I understand, the homeowner pretty much was saying that they dug a ditch on his property. At least that's his claim at this point. And it's now April 14th, so we haven't heard anything more about it. So just wanted to talk about it. It was something that actually came up, and you guys typically don't have that kind of action over there. So I wanted to definitely put that out there, that this is something that was of concern. On a lighter note, you guys had this fabulous fair come through. Didn't even have a name. It was like a no-name fair that came through for about a week. It was a week prior to Easter. It was also the Easter weekend. And amusement rides, I actually was in attendance. I didn't get on the rides. Maybe next time I will. But you had bands play for about 2 to 3 hours each night. That was pretty interesting. I mean, why just a no-name fair?
Well, Danika, what had happened was last year for COVID-19, we wanted to do the Lighthouse Festival. We try to do it every year, and it's been in part with the Tour de Teche, the canoe race. But they didn't have the canoe race last year because of COVID-19. So anyway, our plan was to put on a festival last year. That because of the COVID-19, the amusement rides did not show up. So these people were the ones that were going to do it. They came just to try out the town of Berwick and see what kind of business they would have, if it would be worthwhile for them to come. And then they gave us a guarantee this year they will be at the Lighthouse Festival.
All right, we'll talk a little bit more about this pop-up fair that Berwick had. We'll come on back right here on The Voice of the Coast with yours truly. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. I'm your host, Danika Foley. With me, we have Mayor Duval Arthur with the Town of Berwick. And we're talking about this pop-up fair that just came up out of nowhere. At least I thought it came out of nowhere. It was actually something that was slated to happen during the Lighthouse Festival last year, but because of COVID, everything was pretty much placed on hold. And so they decided, well, let's just kind of do a little pop-up and see how well we will fare, no pun intended, during this time. And I think they did pretty good, would you say?
They did great. It was packed every night they were there. It went on Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday through, they may have been closed Monday, but then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, and then they were closed Sunday. They moved out. So it went over very well. It was very popular with the kids. We had a lot of people show up for it. Now we weren't doing anything there. We had bands. We had paid for the bands to be there, and that's something we wanted to do. If people wanted to come out and watch. We didn't sell any food. We didn't sell any alcohol. We just provided bands at we have a main stage there, and we allowed the bands to come play, and then the kids to ride the rides.
Yeah, I think it was pretty well attended. Like I said, I was out there at least one day, and it went on for a week strong. And this particular amusement park company is actually local.
Right.
We actually have a local company that's here. Now, they're fairly new because I wanted to ask, in years prior, you have had other rides at the Lighthouse Festival, but not quite to this extent as far as the level of rides.
The other rides, amusement people that have been there were pretty much children's rides. The little horses that go up and down, and little cars that go, all that amusement rides for kids. Yeah. These were more adult oriented. They looked a little bit more dangerous. So to speak, and I know what kids thrive off of that. They like that adventure, and these rides look very adventurous.
Yeah. Now that's going to be going up we're going to have the Lighthouse Festival in October.
That's
but
correct.
Coming up in May and July, let's talk about some events that's going on there. I will say, just to preface, Morgan City actually held its spring market, went over very well. So, sometimes you got to try it out and then see if other people want to do the same thing. And now we're going to have this parish-wide market. Right.
Well, Berwick's been doing they've been doing the market for quite some time now. And it's been very popular. People come out, they sell everything under the sun. And they have a lot of displays. People come out there with woodwork, crafts.
Yes, candles, soaps.
Honey, all kinds of things, and they sell. It's been very good. So the city of Morgan City started a market, and the Tourist Information Center said, what would be nice if we do this parish-wide. So they picked a day that they're going to do this. And I'm not sure of that date, so don't hold me to that. But it's going to be coming in May, and it'll be parish-wide. Awesome. Morgan City, Berwick, Franklin for sure. And I think Patterson's going to take part in it also. So
that means you just either go all over or just pick a place and say, we're going to go there.
Right. There will be crafts and markets throughout the parish. And people will be able to go from Morgan City to Franklin and hit all of them.
Awesome. Now let's move on to July. Look, we're starting to see the presence of just outdoor activities now that we're kind of working our way through the vaccines and people feel more and more comfortable going out and venturing out of their homes. We have 4th of July. There's going to be a celebration in Berwick, and typically we've seen Berwick and Morgan City do a 4th of July celebration together on each side of the river.
Right.
However, we understand Morgan City may be doing something at the lake, but you guys will be on the riverfront.
Yes, we will. We'll be on the riverfront, and we will be having bands, and it's pretty much a one-day thing. We don't do 2-day 4th of July celebrations. We just do the 4th and whatever day it falls on, and we'll have bands, and we'll be out there.
Yes, and you will have fireworks?
We will have fireworks.
So I can just imagine we're going to have fireworks all across Morgan City and Berwick.
That's right.
We're going to be at the lake, and then we're going to be at the river. So pick a place or go to both and enjoy yourselves. Oh, the thing is, people say they want variety, right?
Yep.
So you guys, we're getting some variety. So come on back. We have at least 2 more segments to go right here on the Voice of the Coast. And as always, make sure to subscribe to us on Facebook. We are KWBJ TV 22, and also on YouTube, KWBJ Live. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. Again, I am your host, Danika Foley. With me, we have Mayor Duval Arthur, the mayor of the town of Berwick. Excuse me. I need to get him in here too, Baldwin as well.
That's right. That's right.
But Berwick, definitely. So let's talk now a new roof. You guys are making some renovations over at Town Hall.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's a little extra that you didn't exactly anticipate. Kind of tell us about the newest project.
Well, you know, our building was built in 1953. It was a flat top building. Every time we have a hurricane come through, it damages the roof. FEMA has a thing called repetitive loss structure, and if you fall into that category, they're not going to pay you very much, or they may not pay you at all for your damages on your building. But in our case, we were paid, so we took the money that we were going to repair the roof with. Instead of repairing a flat roof, we also had some money set aside for just special events. We're going to combine the two, and we put it out on bids, and we found a company that would build it under what we had put aside, so it worked out good for us. Right. They started work on it last week, and they have done a miraculous job. Everything is enclosed right now. But on Wednesday night, before they had got to that point, it started raining, and they had not covered everything. And it was just, I guess, in their haste to get everything done, they overlooked a few things, and rain got in our building. Knocked out the desk, the carpet, computers. We had significant damage, but we didn't lose any records. Everything was backed up on the computer, so we were okay with that. But we did have to pull up all the flooring and the celotex on the ceiling. So right now we have a gutted city hall, but we're operating. We had to close for 2 days until we could get all that cleaned out.
Yeah, and you were not just in I guess a mayoral position as far as sitting back. You were hauling water out of the building, because the water we have been receiving lately, it's just a torrential rain pour. And so if you're talking about April 7th, it was a lot of water.
A lot. I had 4 of my police officers that were there, J.P. Henry, Quentin Menard, Carl Reed, and Tim Mahfouz, and together we hauled buckets of water out of there. And those guys I'm gonna tell you what, we worked for about 4 hours hauling water. We got everything covered. As it turned out, the damage is not as bad as we thought it was. So we should be okay. The company has insurance, so it's gonna pay for the damages that we do have.
They had to have insurance, because you're just too cool
right
now. You're too cool for school, because I know you would have lost a lot of equipment. We're like, just going wild. But I'm glad that the records, because that's very important, and especially if you're going to reopen, and yeah, definitely. So some equipment losses, but you will be able to recover.
Overall we're going to be good. And just to give you a little background, we're going from a flat roof to a peak roof.
Okay,
so
great.
We're not going to have any more water standing on top of the building. It should be more secure, and we're going to add about 100 years on that building.
Okay.
by doing this because it's going to make it cooler. It's just going to be a much better building.
So you're changing the skyline
Yep,
over in Berwick.
that's right. When you go down 3rd Street,
See, look at that peak roof.
City Hall's going to look different to you.
Okay, sounds good.
We're excited about that too.
Yeah. And during that time, you guys, you did have to cut back on some things, but as far as people paying their utility bill, they were able to, I guess, drop it off.
Right.
Nobody was really penalized.
Right.
Okay, sounds good. So we've gotten through that, but also there's another new project that you're working on, and we'll talk about that when we come back. That'll probably pretty much take us out, but. We'll talk about it when we get back. So come on back right here on The Voice of the Coast with yours truly, Danika Foley. Welcome back to The Voice of the Coast. Again, I'm your host, Danika Foley. With me, we have Mayor Duval Arthur. This is our last segment, so I'm going to go through this pretty quickly if I can. Let's get through some of these questions. Earlier, I was telling you, I said the rain that we have today, it's not, is it like the rain we've had like 50 years ago? Because this rain is like, it's almost nonstop. And I say that because you have a new drainage project, and we love when we get grants because that's free money and from the government, and you are replacing the 12-inch pipes that pretty many cities or municipalities have, drainage pipes, but you're doubling it in size. 50 years ago, we didn't think we would have to have 24-inch pipes, but we're now going to 24-inch pipes, and that's going to help which areas?
It's going to help the country club area. They right now they have 12-inch drain pipes under the street, and you see the culverts on the side of the street. They empty into a 12-inch pipe. It doesn't take very much water to fill up that pipe. So by increasing the size to 24 inches, we'll double the size of the water where water can flow, and I think it'll certainly improve our drainage for that area. They have, for I guess the last 15 years, experienced a lot of flooding there, street flooding, water in the garage, and things like that. And no houses were flooded seriously until this past year. So I did a grant, and through the Department of Transportation. And I found out Monday they voted on it. It was approved for the $1.6 million. So we're going to start that project probably around after July, because that's when they're supposed to give us the funding.
And I'm curious with that, because so many homes have flooded, I'm sure they would have to have flood insurance. Do you think this is going to help them as far as flood insurance?
I think it'll definitely help us in the long run in what we're doing. We did a water study on that area to determine what we needed to do to make it safer. So that's what we've done. We did the water study. That was part of our grant, and that's probably one of the reasons why we got it approved. They saw that we were very serious about improving this and make it better.
So that's $1.6 million in grant funds, and you're getting on top of that federal stimulus money.
That's right. Another $1.6 million.
Come on, Berwick. So, and you're going to be using, I guess, a portion of that money for a pickleball court?
Yeah, part of the money, we have 18 different things that we're going to be doing with that money. Well, one of those things is putting a pickleball court under the bridge in Berwick. We're going to cement the area, have parking, have it fenced in with lights where they can actually go out and play pickleball at night. And they've been wanting outdoor pickleball courts. We're going to have those. So that'll be under the bridge.
Now, pickleball is a serious sport.
It is. Yep.
This is something that we've even had Ms. Linda Richard, who's actually, I know she's an avid player. She's been here before. You guys have also held tournaments in Berwick as well as Bayou Vista. So again, this is very, very serious. And to have an outdoor pickleball, and not only that, I mean, even while you're indoor, you welcome people from all over the parish.
Certainly.
I know Morgan City residents play in Berwick.
That's
and by having this outside, and it's going to be lit, right? You'll have it lighted up, a lighted court, so they could play pretty much, all hours of the night if, quiet enough.
well, they're open. Our civic center is open to pickleball play. Pickleball court's about the size of a volleyball court. That's about the size of it. So we're going to have 2 of those courts under the bridge. And like I say, every year Berwick, Bayou Vista Pickleball Association sponsors a tournament, and they have well over 100 participants that come from all over. And they stay at our motel, not our motels, the motels in the parish. They stay here, they eat in the restaurants. So it helps everybody, it really does.
I only have 40 seconds because you mentioned not our hotels. You had a hotel.
Yes.
It's now closed. What's the economy? I mean, you guys have housing, you have recreation,
Well,
you have schools.
that particular hotel is coming back. It's going to be reopening soon.
Okay.
So we're going to have a hotel back again. So we're looking forward to that.
Well, I did
The economy
not know
is picking
that.
up in Berwick, by the way.
What's that?
The economy is picking up in Berwick, by
You have
the way.
some businesses that have opened up and are doing very well. And I don't want to say any names because I might miss some people, but there are definitely some that are notable.
Right.
But that is all the time we have. Thank you so much. Thank you. We'll see you guys next time.